let's talk about some of the common things that are found. Rising damp is a big one for houses that are built on slabs. Not so much your high set houses that are on Queenslanders, say, for example. You generally don't see rising damp because the damp can't get up those stumps and get to the property. But you would see it a lot in the southern states and on houses that are on slab.
They don't have to be on a slab to have rising damp. In fact, Victorian terraces aren't on slabs and they're plagued with rising damp. Federation houses, California bungalows.
Is that because the brickwork actually goes to ground? Yeah. So they're not on a slab. So they're on elevated timber, the framework that you talked about.
Yeah.
But the brickwork, if you like, goes down to ground and maybe some foundations and piers.
Yeah, they got piers or it might even be the house is literally built on the ground. That can happen. My house, the front section of it is built on the ground, weirdly enough. So, which isn't great, and I've got to keep an eye on that.
Mm-hmm. Very alert.
Well, there is such a thing as damp course. You've got to be mindful of termites, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, there's such a thing as damp course, and that deteriorates. So in an old Victorian terrace, for instance, that would have been slate. So in a row of bricks, sort of maybe, I don't know, 2 bricks above ground level, for instance, it might be, and there's a row of like a lining of slate all the way along. Well, slate has cracked over the years or it's just degraded and the damp starts coming through. So it comes through the walls. It looks sort of, it's a bit crumbly, a bit salty. Yeah, I don't know if that's, and
it does. It looks like it's a white kind of phosphorus kind of material.
Yeah. It's not good. We do not like rising damp.
Another really common thing is uneven floors. Now,
yes.
Veronica, what is the easiest test to test uneven floors apart from moving one side and the other and feeling a bit seasick when you're walking down it?
Carry a marble.
We always carry a ball. It doesn't matter whether it's a marble, a golf ball or anything round. If you run it down a hallway and it moves too much to one side or another, or through a bedroom, then you've got uneven floors. You can often feel it when you're walking through.
Yeah.
In and of itself, it's not a problem. You do need to be aware of it, but there are vastly different costs associated with rectifying uneven floors. So
sometimes you don't rectify them. Like
sometimes you don't, and it's just the character of the house.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's quite often in old Victorian terraces, again, upstairs, I'll feel the undulations, as I'm walking through the house. And it's like, and for me, I sometimes feel like I'm the princess and the pea, like I'm really sensitive to these things. I can feel these floors a bit uneven. And, but what are you going to do? Like in order to level up that floor, you pretty much have to gut the house and effectively start again. No one's going to do that. So even in renovated houses, sometimes I find that upstairs have got wonky floors. And if
even
it's settled
concrete
and stopped,
floors can be uneven too, because that can be an indication of sinking. So maybe a corner has sunk. Now, it can be rectified, but again, quite expensive. But this is some of the common things that we can see in building pest inspections. And it can lead to doors not closing properly, Veronica.
Yeah,
so it's
absolutely.
not just about the floors. It's actually if the structure has moved and shifted too much, then doors won't close. And Queenslanders are very much designed to move with the weather. They are designed to contract and expand with the weather conditions. And you can find that one day your door opens and the next day it won't. And that's the nature of it. It doesn't mean that it's defective, but, you want to be a little bit careful that it isn't a result of a corner dropping or some stumps being really so far out of whack that the whole building's shifted.
Oh my God. I mean, because like even with all the rain that Sydney's had, my daughter's bedroom door sometimes swells to the point that I can't shut it properly. And then it's normal at the moment, but I know that we've got another El Nino coming up over summer. It'd probably swell again. Yeah. But there's been times when I've been through properties, and I've just sort of looked at, over the years, quite often people might shave a bit off the door to counter this, and I've seen even staircases that I reckon are sitting at a 20-degree angle. but the house has stopped moving. It's like it was built and then it settled and then it stopped. It must have found rock at some point and stopped, and it's like, what are they going to do? Especially in the middle of
have a really good conversation with your inspector about that one.
Because sometimes I feel like a whole row of terraces is just leaning on each other anyway.
So, like a deck of cards.
Yeah.
Dominoes. If you pick the first ones, they're all going to go over.
You want to be careful about that.